Anyone here who went to college for musical theater? Yeah? You, what's your name? Devin?
Yeah.
And where'd you go? Ithaca. Okay, yeah. You went too? Okay. Still in the biz?
I'm a writer.
Writer, so no. And then you... What about you? What are you still singing?
Yeah.
Yeah? How's it going?
I bartend.
That's fine. No shame in that. What was the last show you did, though?
A version of 12th Night.
I'm nervous about that. A version of. What made this a version of 12th Night?
It was like an hour adaptation, 4 actors playing with wigs and silly singing and funny stuff. But it was only an hour-long version of it.
I like that part of it. I love an hour show. Would you think it was good?
I think it was fun.
Sure. You think Shakespeare would have approved? Or would he have been like, oh, I wish I had joined Hamnet? So here's the thing about my comedy is it's a little bit darker than I think some theater people are used to. And I'm trying to fuse the two things. I'm trying to find a world where these two things exist. So I like to get to know the theater kids. I like to find out why people quit or why they're still continuing or just... Let me ask this. Anyone here, all these theater kids, anyone do a production that, with hindsight, you go, we should not have done that production? Yes. What do we got?
My high school did Avenue Q, so we had no people who were Asian and only one person who was black.
Okay, great. Who did the black person play?
Played the one person they should have played.
Yes, okay, Gary Coleman. And then, oh God.
My friend who was white but took Japanese as her high school language.
Can I just say, you're owing, but the fact that they took Japanese is a step in the better direction.
Kimono from Japan.
Rented a kimono from...
No, she owned an authentic kimono.
Oh, she owned an authentic, as opposed to a fake kimono. Yeah, okay, good. I was just in Japan. That's good. Listen, I see these people. What year was this?
2013.
It's right on that line. Right on that line. It's tough. I was just in Japan. I wanted to buy my girlfriend a kimono, and she said, "Wait, of course you can't get a kimono. You get accused of cultural appropriation." And I was like, "I'll tell you who probably hates the concept of cultural appropriation the most. People who sell kimonos. All day, this store, they see white people just staring longingly, and they're like, please, it's okay! We've saturated the Japanese market, I'm begging you. Can anyone top that? Anyone got other, yeah?
A funny thing happened on the way to the forum.
A funny thing happened on the way to the forum. I can't even guess. What was problematic?
It's a play, and
Wait, it is a musical.
well, it's a non-music play, but it's a play.
Oh, it's a play too.
It's musical. Just kidding. It's been too long.
Yeah. Okay. Do you see how upset I got for a second? I was like, I'm not supposed to be nice to audience members, but for a second I was like, it's a music. Yeah. It bombed out of town until Sondheim added Comedy Tonight in DC. Yes, but go ahead. You played a dominatrix courtesan at 16. Okay. Was the tryout at Epstein's Island? I'm gonna keep pushing it until you fucking... No, that's what Epstein did. So listen. Okay, but it's like, it's a fun, like how intense did this...
I think they were curious about how far they should go in terms of the costuming.
They were curious. Okay, so what did they decide on?
I had a leather halter top with like fringes, see-through black pants, and a wig.
Okay. See-through black pants.
Yeah, kind of like Jasmine has pants, you know, the,
Jasmine?
yeah, Princess Jasmine.
Oh, so you want to add a little cultural appropriation to it too. You said this isn't enough. All right, can anyone top those two things? What do we got?
I don't know if it's topping it, but in 4th grade we did like the original Wizard of Oz, and I was a China princess. I'm white, and they like.
I'm sorry, you were a what?
like a China doll, like a China doll.
Was this an added character? I don't remember this one at all.
And
What did they ask the wizard for at the end?
I guess it's in the original book.
Really?
I don't know. Someone fact check.
Sure. What role did they should add this when they that Glinda spin-off of Wicked or whatever the fuck they go, we're reintroducing this.
So I did they made me look Asian.
They made you look Asian.
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable telling me how they did that?
Just makeup and the outfit.
Okay. Okay. 4th grade?
Portrait.
Yeah. Do you still have those pictures or did you burn them?
They exist somewhere.
They exist somewhere. Yeah, they'll come up if you ever get a job promotion or anything good. Now, do you still do theater?
No.
When did you stop?
Maybe like 2-3 years ago?
Okay, so tell me about that. What did you go to college for it?
Yes.
What's your name?
Marcia.
Marcia. And so when's the switch? 2-3 years ago, what happened?
I just graduated into a pandemic with a theater degree, so.
Mm.
Calm down.
Were you getting your degree during the pandemic?
No.
No.
The year, 2019.
Do you think God caused the pandemic just as a sign for you individually to not pursue theater?
Of course.
What was the last musical you did in college?
I went out of college. I did, what do you want to know college?
No, whatever you want to tell me. It's not rule. There's no rules.
Fun Home?
What was that?
Fun Home?
Fun Home. Okay. Do you remember any of your songs from Fun Home?
Yes. What? No, are you making me sing?
I would never make you sing, number one. I'm just wondering, you went to this school, and fucking COVID happened, and got in the way of this. Is there any way that I could convince you to sing a song here tonight with us? Any song? Would you do it for me, Marcia, please? Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen.
Look up the lyrics.
Okay, look up the, I was going to do a long intro. What school did you go to?
Virginia Commonwealth University.
Wow. Okay, incredible. I hear from that school. We were denied their talents because of a horrible global pandemic, but luckily we are here today to enjoy Marcia singing this track from Fun Home. Give it up for her.
I'm making help. You guys have to be really sweet to me. What happened last night? Are you really here? Joan, 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 Joan. Hi, Joan. Don't wake up, Joan. Oh my God, last night. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Last night. I got so excited, I was too enthusiastic. Thank you for not laughing. Well, you laughed a little bit. At one point when I was touching you, you said I might lose consciousness, which you said was adorable. But I must say that I'm changing my major to Joan. I'm changing my major to sex with Joan. I'm changing my major to sex with Joan, with a minor in kissing Joan. Foreign study to Joan's inner thighs, a seminar on Joan's ass in her Levi's, and Joan's crazy brown eyes. Joan, I feel like Hercules. Oh God, that sounds ridiculous. Just keep on sleeping through this, and I'll work on calming down. I'm radiating happiness. Will you stay here with me for the rest of the semester? We won't need any food. We'll live on sex alone. Sex with Joan. I'm scared into nothingness, or flying into something so sublime. I don't know, but I'm changing my major to Joan. Thought all my life I'd be all alone, but that was before I was lying prone in this dorm room bed with Joan. 'Cause I'm changing my major to Joan.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh! Anyone do an original production here that should not have been done? I know we got something. Oh, did I see a hand? No. You were thinking of an original production to propose? Okay. Oh, there we go. Thank you. What's your name?
Jill.
Jill. And tell me about this show. What was the name?
Idol the musical.
Idol the musical. And tell me the plot.
It's about a group of theater kids who are obsessed with Clay Aiken.
Okay. So a group of theater kids obsessed with Clay Aiken. Believable premise.
They meet like a cult. The opening scene was us in like black cloaks just circling a picture of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was this Sondheim? It was a musical or a play?
It's musical.
It was a musical.
Yeah.
And were you singing Clay Aiken songs or?
No.
No. That's a real. If you go to the Clay Aiken show, you're like, what the fuck? It's Frank Lesser. Okay, who did you play? Colts.
A ragtag mom of a single mom, and I fall in love with this ragtag boy who's also obsessed with Clay Aiken. And yeah.
What happens at the end? Do you find Clay Aiken?
No, he did come to the show.
Thank God. I mean, truly, if he hadn't, that would have been a real bummer.
Well, he came out on opening night, which was also closing.
Okay, he came out opening and closing night. And what did he come backstage after and have to tell you what he thought?
No. We had to go out to the street and like see him on the sidewalk.
And he's just like getting in the car like, congratulations. Well, I'm sorry that it closed. I would have loved to seen a video of the highlights. I almost said I would love to have seen it, but that's not true. What, are you still doing musical theater now?
No, I stopped.
Because of that show?
No, because I got married and had babies.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. It's either babies or dreams, and that's. Anyone who have kids who still do musical theater? My premise is confirmed. No. Okay. Let's see. Who's still in the trenches of musical theater right now? Yeah. What was that? What's your name? Drew. That baritone? Yeah. Drew, tell me about your. When did you start? When did you first get into theater? As a little kid, high school, college?
Grad school.
Grad school. I cannot imagine knowing the world and choosing that late in life. Like it's like you know when like someone's like raised religious and they like it's like they're religious because they were raised that way. And then when someone starts at 30, you're like, something happened to them. So what did you go for undergrad for?
Music.
Music, okay.
Vocal performance.
Vocal performance. So what were we talking, opera?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you went to grad school, and is that where you discovered you went to grad school for musical theater?
Went to grad school for opera and then did theater my second year there. It's like, oh, this is so much better.
Yeah. And when you say better, what do you mean? Easier?
Not easier, more collaborative.
More collaborative?
Yeah.
Really? How so? Opera's not a friendly, loving...
It's like monastic. Yeah.
Oh, it was a word I couldn't even. That's how uncollaborative it is. I was like, I gotta go look up what monastic means. And could you do the styles? Could you do the pop styles, or were you kind of stuck in the opera world? Did you have to learn?
Oh, I had to learn.
You had to learn. Yeah, you're still learning. So what was the last show you did?
I did a production of The Cottage actually last summer.
Someone said, "Oh, is that a musical?"
It's a play.
It's a play.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went from opera to musical theater, finally back to just speaking. You're like, I realized just less and less breath support the longer you've lived.
I've made a niche doing non-singing parts in musicals. So
Is niche the word for that, though? Wait, how many of these, tell me three non-singing parts in musicals?
Bodyguard and the Bodyguard.
Okay. I hope the next one's Clay Aiken and Bodyguard and Bodyguard.
And then I played a Nazi in a show called Harmony.
What the fuck? Everyone knows these niche. Okay, you played a Nazi. Do you remember any of those lines? Okay, any more?
Well, I keep saying, but like George McFly in Back to the Future, he doesn't act, he's not a great singer. But like,
Okay. Wow, I could have stuck in musical theater longer than I thought. Well, I feel honestly, just hearing your speaking voice, it does feel like a waste that you've got all these parts where you don't get to sing. Is there any chance I could convince you to close up with something like a song? And as you come up, start brainstorming with me. What do you want to sing? Or you can do the Nazi character, whatever you want. Just goose step up to the mic. And what are you thinking?
I don't know, most older age or more recent?
Whatever you think's gonna make you shine, brother. Opera, get the fuck out of here, opera. Get the fuck out of here, opera. Here you go. This is for you. What are we thinking? Let me introduce it.
We'll do Wondering from Bridges.
Wondering from Bridges. I've never heard this one, so I'm excited. And what was the name? One more time for Drew. Clap it up for Drew.
A little twinge, a little shock, a little whisper at the bottom of your memory. A sudden wind, a gentle knock, and then a rustle in the leaves. You close the door, you check the lock, reassure yourself there's nothing at the window. But you're wondering, you're wondering, you're wondering where you are. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. You turn the key from a switch. You settle back into the blissful unfamiliar. You close your eyes, but there's an itch, a little hurt your heart retrieves. You ignore the tiny twitch, pretend the feeling will be gone before the morning. But you're wondering, you're wondering, you're wondering where you are. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. But wouldn't it be fine to share the weather in her eyes, her hair, her footsteps as she climbs the stairs, the shadow in her light, when everything you know is true, and everything you want to do, and everything that makes you you collides against the night, and nothing's black and white. And you're wondering, you're wondering, you're wondering where that was. And you're wondering, if it's true. Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing has to happen.
everyone. Oh my God. Can you imagine hearing that and going, no, make him the non-singing Nazi. That's insane. We have a special guest here today, and I want to make sure I introduce this opening number properly. Please welcome, singing Luck Be a Lady Tonight in Hebrew. Big round of applause for the one, the only, Ben Platt.
Hey lady tzlili mazal. Hey lady tzlili mazal. אם את זוכרת עוד איך ליידי מתנהגת, רק תני לי ליידי מזל. That's all I remember.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's all we could afford tonight. 3 lines. What the fuck is that from? When did you
Guys and Dolls by Frank Lesser.
Yes. When did you do a all Hebrew production?
Yes, so I went to Jewish summer camp. I did theater all year, every year, my whole life since I was a little child, and the only time of year that I didn't do theater was when I went to Jewish summer camp. But when you're in the oldest age group, you get to do 1 musical in Hebrew. So I waited for 8 years through like sports and swimming to do a musical, and then I got to play Sky Masterson in Hebrew.
Yeah, sure.
Thank
you would have gone and seen that show? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Were they able to make the rhyme scheme work? That's a big...
No. They were not. And
they just rhyme the with and it works?
Yeah, no, most people were not off book in Hebrew. I took it much more seriously than most of my cohorts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was more of a staged reading.
Sure. How old were you when you played this?
13.
13.
14.
And Sky Masterson. I mean, no offense. I think me too.
Yeah.
Nathan and Nathan.
Oh, I severely miscast.
Yeah.
I did it 4 times. I did it at my youth theater program, my middle school, my high school, and my summer camp. I did 3 Skies and 1 Nathan, and I was only correctly cast 1 time.
And you did it you did it once with another notable singer.
Yeah,
right?
Beanie Feldstein and I did it together. She's one of my best friends from my youth. We went to high school together. We met in 9th grade because that's when we were finally at the same school, and we got cast as Sky and Sarah, even though we're very clearly Nathan and Adelaide.
Yeah. Do you feel like did you have romantic chemistry?
Well, we're both queer. She has a wife and I have a husband. But at the time,
You're doing love songs, staring off into the distance for each other, imagining. Yeah.
She hadn't discovered that part of herself yet. I was at the very beginning of that. But because we were like gay best friends, we had such comfort together that we were just very physically affectionate already. And so our director just kept like adding kisses for us throughout the show. And just making it more and more. She was just like, "You guys have great chemistry. Maybe you kiss at the end of if I were a bell, and maybe like." So I think that we broadcast because we were clearly miscast. So all we had going for us was the fact that we were really comfortable together. So we really just leaned into that.
The most sexual production of Guys and Dolls in history.
Yeah. Her brother afterwards was like, "Nice to meet you. Maybe a little less kissing my sister next time." And I was like, "Do not worry, please."
Well, first of all, thank you for being here. It's an honor having you.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I think it's my Joe's Pub debut. I don't think I've ever
Really?
I don't think I've ever been. I've sat here millions of times, but I don't think I've ever been up here. So.
That's crazy. Well, no offense. There was a hole in your resume, and I do think we're glad to finally film it. So I guess first, I told you before, I loved your shirt.
Thanks.
I'm collecting as many vintage theater shirts as I can.
Ooh, it's a really fun, it's kind of the only thing you do when you walk into a thrift store is just comb the racks for.
Yeah, and you're shocked
and
when
it's
it happens.
always Miss Saigon.
Yes. A lot of Miss Saigon, a lot of Phantom, a lot of Beauty and the Beast, but this one, the rose sticks out a little bit.
It's
so
gorgeous.
I thought it was. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
It's a really beautiful piece.
I want to make a vintage. I have all these musical theater themed things that I want to do that will never work. I want to do a Soul Cycle, but it's just musicals. I want to do.
Why? Where has that not happened yet?
No, because they complain that sometimes it's a ballad, and I do the Taylor Swift ones too. Like it works.
It's when you like climb the hill and get in your feelings.
Exactly.
To like Ring of Keys.
Yeah. that and a vintage musical theater store. I have a whole vision. But that's not here nor there. That's what this is going to lead to eventually, a theater branding. So Ben, you really were doing theater from the very beginning. Yeah. You've lived a life that in my fantasy I go, that's the life I would have chosen. And we'll see by the end of this if I still feel that way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Parts of it.
So obviously your parents are in the industry.
My dad.
Your dad. Did he encourage you to do theater?
No, I mean it definitely played me the right music. Like all of my siblings and I love musical theater, and we grew up listening to Throw the Bottom Millie and Gypsy and Barbara and all of that. So like
just his shows, or
no, he didn't really have any at that point. I mean, he was mostly a film guy before,
right.
And I was just really only interested in show tunes. So in terms of like culturally, yes, I definitely had the access. But I think because he knows how horrible it is, to do this for a career, which is why it's so nice to see so many people decide not to do that. I'm almost there. I think he really wanted, or both my parents, of course, really wanted it to come from me, the passion to do it further, because we all did like youth theater again and school theater and stuff, and that was plenty for a lot of my siblings and my friends. And I think the desire to be in front of more people and do work with adults and things like that really came from me.
We have a picture of you. I believe this is Snow White. Do we have the Snow White picture? Right there. So that's...
And you'll notice there's an active prop. Already really living in the character.
Now, this was not from a show that you did.
Certainly not.
Just was this someone? Did you buy this yourself? Did this just exist in a closet?
This is like a Sunday. I had a friend, her name Tori Leibovich. We're still friends, and I would go over to her house, and she had a great collection of dresses of different characters and princesses. And I love Tori, but I was really there for the dresses. And so this is just the toast du jour,
And would you act it out? Would you do a song?
Yes, yeah. I mean, of course. I tried to corral all of my friends into things like that. One time I showed up on my elementary school playground with printed out scripts of Merrily We Roll Along. And I was like...
Oh my God. Wait, what grade
and I was
did
like,
you
you're
bring
going to
Merrily?
play Tyler. Like maybe 4th or 5th.
Oh my God! Hey guys, do you want to do a show about how as you get older it descends into cynicism and you betray all your meaningful friendships and all art becomes a financial opportunistic piece of shit?
Exactly.
Who were you playing in that production?
Probably Frank. I mean, now I'm Charlie in the film, but Frank. I mean, at that point I was like, of course I'm a leading man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And did they do it? Were your friends into it, or were they like?
No. I went to like a Jewish day school, so like no one was really. This is part of the reason I was so hungry to start working professionally and be around people who really also wanted to do this. Is that nobody around me really wanted to be doing this.
Yes. And so, what was the first? Was the first show in school, or it was the program that you did as a little kid?
Like first show ever?
First show ever.
Cinderella. I played the prince. I think you maybe have a picture of that too.
Yeah,
that's me.
So was it tough to not be wearing the dress in this one too?
No, because look how sparkly my vest is.
It is.
It's all the same. That's also Tori from the story. And it was right around the time of the Brandy Cinderella, which in my opinion is the seminal Cinderella.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good.
And we're in Los Angeles, of course, and so I went to a theater school called the Adderley School, run by this amazing family called the Adderley family. And there was a day during the rehearsal process where Brandy and Paolo Montalban, who played the prince, came and did like a ballroom dancing workshop with all of us. It was really cute.
So that's the difference between growing up in LA and growing up in Potomac, Maryland.
Yeah. So for that reason, I get it. You want to meet Paolo. Oh, I guess you want to meet Brandy. I wanted to meet Paolo.
Yeah. Do you remember like performing at this age? Do you remember like I'm good at this?
Not quite yet. The only memories I have from like this far back is really like backstage memories. Like I have flashes of like being in the giant like rec room where everybody's costumes are and like where there's like the hubbub and the changing and the anticipation. And I really do have like flashes of just like enjoying that feeling and like feeling like the stakes of life are suddenly higher than they had been. I don't think until I was like more like 7, 8, 9, I really started like taking ownership of like being any good. Like when I did Oliver, I think, and like sang Where Is Love and had like a real solo and like was like learned what a chest voice was and things like that. I was like, I know how to do this, I think.
I've always wondered with kid actors, did you reach an age later where I'm sorry, I'm stretching. Just in case. Get ready for a big dance number after this one. do you was there an age where like you weren't nervous because you didn't really understand the scope of what you were doing, and then like did you have waves, different ages where you were like, oh fuck, this is a big deal, or have you never had anxiety?
I have intense anxiety, but really it's the least active on stage, and that's always been the case. Like from being a child and not being smart enough to understand like the stakes in any kind of real way, even when I started working, and now even as an adult, like even when I do feel nervous or something is like I really want something to go well, the during, like the part of actually the doing it sounds like corny and made up, but truly the only time that I feel like completely like calm and that my mind is really quiet, because there's just no option, at least for me, other than like being where you are when you're performing, because you have to just be in the moment, and I struggle doing that kind of anywhere else, truly.
Sure. Well, listen, we're gonna jump around with your timeline, but I just want to hear you sing again. I feel like that Hebrew version didn't quite get it. So I know, and I want to go back, but as I go through all the roles, I know was it your senior year of high school? Was that Pippin? Am I correct?
Yeah, that was Pippin.
Is there any chance you could give us that corner of the sky?
Yeah, of course.
I think we'd love to hear that.
I will.
Is this in Hebrew as well, or is this English?
No, this is English. I bullied my theater department into doing this as my senior musical because I really wanted to play the part. And luckily, my dear friend Max was an amazing dancer, and he wanted to be the leading player, so it really worked out.
All right, then let's hear Ben Platt singing Corner of the Sky.
Everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you a rhyme. Cats fit on the windowsill, children sit in the snow. Why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Every man has his daydreams, every man has his goals. People like the way dreams have of sticking into the soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning, nightingales have their song. And don't you see, I want my life to be something more than long. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. So many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I'll have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, just listen when I've gone. And far away you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. The sky. The sky.
Ben Platt, everyone. Ben Platt. And Adam. Oh. Yeah. So I assume Fosse came by, gave a workshop on that too, and it was very instructional. So that was your senior year.
That was my senior year.
God, that's the right age to do that show for sure.
I was wearing sort of a sleeveless, hooded Ann Taylor white thing.
At the end, where he gets married, right?
Yeah, he chooses like love and family over show business.
Yeah. And then the lead-in says like, "Are you happy?" And you're like, "I don't know. I think a guy instead." I think you realize at the end.
Oh yeah, no, I already was.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I was making out backstage. I was aware.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was your high school musical theater? Was there a lot of romance going on?
Well, there was like, 4 or 5. This is like 2008, 9, 10. So it was like, it's during Glee. So there's like there's just a little bit of encouragement. So there was like 4.
Wait, did Glee really? Did you feel?
100%.
Tell me about this. Okay, so it's popular, and what people are talking, they're like, hey.
Yeah, it was like the first step was High School Musical, where I was like, oh my god, everyone's talking about a musical. Even people that don't like musicals are talking about a musical. But he's still Zac Efron. He's still straight, and it's still a very heteronormative show where everybody has like a straight companion. Even Ryan, who's like gay, it's like not really. He has like he has like a sister. You know what I mean? And then the And then the next step was Glee, and it was I really did feel, at least in my perception at the moment, that it was like opening some gates for. I mean, I was already like obnoxiously out, but for other people, it created a dating pool of like 4 guys at least in my high school.
And now we know why Republicans don't fund the arts. So had you come out? Were you out in high school?
Yeah, I came out when I was 13, right before I came to my high school.
And were there people there at school who also were out?
Yeah, there was a few. There was a handful. We kind of just dated in rotation out of necessity.
Yeah.
Just kind of like one at a time. The most kind of like involved relationship was with a guy named Eli, who was, when I did Into the Woods in 10th grade, there aren't enough roles in Into the Woods, so they added 4 storytellers, which was 4 wordless dancers. Dressed as pieces of graph paper because we're telling the story on graph paper.
Oh man!
And they had
when you tell what part did you get? It's a new thing they've added, and I'm number 3 of it. Okay, so explosive graph paper.
So the whole set was like graph paper, and the idea is like we're drawing the fairy tales onto the paper, and so the 4 storytellers had these like stretchy like blue vines that they would create like shapes of different spaces with, like the house and the castle and stuff. So the whole rehearsal process was wasted on the vines and the storytellers. Mm-hmm. So the first time we ran the show was opening night for the audience.
Sure.
But Eli was one of the storytellers, the only male storyteller, and we made out backstage most of the time.
During the show?
No, I would never. No. When I'm the baker, I am the baker.
He tries to kiss you. I have a wife.
Correct. And her name was Emily Altschul. She was great. But yes, no, on all the off hours, during tech, during all that kind of stuff.
Can I tell you, I had a very different. I had a girlfriend in high school, and she was the costume designer. And I was doing Seymour and Little Shop of Horrors, and she had to do the big thing, putting the plants on me, so I'm eaten by the plant at the end.
Hot.
And we had been dating for maybe like 2 months or whatever, but she put it on me, and then I said, I love you. And then I had to run on stage and do the number, and I didn't wait for her, I left. And it really was wonderful. It was incredible. And for it's a real downer of an ending, but I was smiling like, don't feed the plants. Okay, Into the Wood, and by the way, you mentioned Zac Efron. Was that like is he one of your like you looked up to? You're like, oh, that's the guy to be.
In terms of my sexuality, yes. He was like you can't dreamboat like that was, and the fact that he could be at musical theater, king, and then also everybody be like lusting after him was sort of like, oh, okay, so it's possible to be cool and desired and also do musicals, but. I found out that's only true if you're Zac Efron. But no, so I liked that he was my an icon to me in that respect. Less so, I was more into Gavin Creel and was
yes.
he was my everything. It was like I want to be him and be like him and do what he does and all the theater and Norbert Leo Butz on the Last 5 Years soundtrack.
Of course,
that was kind of my that's what I want to be.
Yeah, and you're now that you're doing Last 5 Years, are you not listening anymore? Because I feel like I probably could do the Norbert, not do, but I would try to imitate like every little twist and turn. How do you get rid of that?
It's exactly what you said. I've stopped as soon as I found out I was going to do it. Now I only sing to like YouTube karaoke instrumentals, so I don't listen to any of the great interpretations.
Surely you can afford a pianist to plunk out a version for you. I'm
Not
trying to
all
rehearse. I have to
ours.
wait for the ads every time. It's a nightmare. I almost, for a second, I forgot. I think of Zac Efron. It's so crazy. Now I think of him as this kind of dramatic movie star that I forget he really did. He did High School Music. He did
Hairspray.
Hairspray.
Yeah.
You did that role?
I did Hairspray right around 9th grade, so I was in my theater program when I was like 14.
And what was this theater program?
It's called the Adderley School. It's the same place that I started when I was a little kid, and it was like a once-a-week program in the Palisades where you'd go for like 3 hours on a Wednesday night and rehearse a show for the whole school year, like from September to April, and then perform it for like 2 weekends in May.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And you did Link. That's the character?
I did Link.
And so for this one, were you disciplined in not doing Zac Efron's Link?
No, I really wanted to be Zac Efron, and so I went into a vintage store and found a blue cardigan that looks like the one he wears in the movie, and I made my little Jewish hair do the like little curl that he does in the movie, and I was like, I'm gonna be just like Zac Efron and wear a tight white tee and like skin tight jeans, and I'm gonna be so straight. But I think I was at the stage where I didn't really know.
That never works for the. I'm gonna be so straight. It never works quite. Do you know that song?
It Takes Two?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I do.
Could you show us your? Is this your Zac Efron inspired, or is this your trying to be inspired by Zac Efron?
This is from a time when I didn't know how to edit myself in terms of my flamboyance, and I thought that just like kind of going for it with the hips was all it took to appear straight, but it was sort of the opposite.
Well, let's hear
do
it.
that.
Ben Platt.
You might have to tell me what verse it is. They say it's a man's world, well that cannot be denied. But what good's a man's world without a woman by his side? And so I will wait until that moment you decide that I'm your boy and you're my girl, that I'm the sea and you're the pearl. It takes two, babe, bye. It takes two. A king ain't a king without the power behind the throne. A prince is a pauper, babe, without a chick to call his own. So please, darling, choose me. I don't want to rule alone. Tell me that I'm your king and you're my queen, that no one else can come between. It takes two, baby. It takes two. Shout out to Matthew Morrison. Lancelot had Guinevere, Mrs. Claus had old Saint Nick, Romeo had Juliet, and Liz, well, she has her dick. They say it takes two to tango, well, that tango's child's play. So take me to the dance floor and we'll twist the line away. Just like Frankie Avalon, I remember not knowing who that was, had his favorite Mouseketeer. I dream of a lover, babe, to say the things I long to hear. So come closer, baby, oh, and whisper in my ear that you're my girl and I'm your boy, that you're my pride and I'm your joy. I'm the sand and you're the tide. I'll be the groom if you be my bride. It takes two, baby. It takes two. It takes two, baby. It takes two.
Ben Platt, everyone. Ben Platt.
I forgot that it's cut from the movie. And
Oh, really?
But they put it on the soundtrack as like a consolation prize for theater people.
That's very nice. Okay, I realize what I want to ask. Has there been anything that you haven't gotten that you wanted? You have had such a good musical theater career. You've gotten a lot of leads. What are the moments, maybe younger, it doesn't have to be the professional ones, you know. I'm saying like, were there any moments along the way where someone was better than you in the room, or you didn't get that lead, or you got the storyteller number 5?
Are you talking about specifically like in theater that I didn't get?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
I don't mean all life.
I was like inner peace.
Was there ever a cast list that went up that didn't make you jump for joy?
Yes. There was. My school did Picnic, which is a play, like a super, steamy straight
William
people
Inge.
play.
Yeah.
Anytime there was a job. I was thinking that way from the beginning. Anytime there was a show that the singing wasn't the thing being asked for, I felt much more insecure, and I didn't get cast in that play
Well, you
at
got
all.
cast as the blanket?
None, 0.
Shut up. Fuck you.
I think we should call it. No, I didn't. I would that's the only time the list went up, and I just wasn't on it in it at all.
Yeah.
At least at school. I mean, I auditioned for tons of things as a young person that I didn't get. I mean, almost everything I auditioned for on camera I didn't get. It took me. I started auditioning for things when I was 8 and 9, and that's when I started doing theater, like professionally. Anything I could do and stay in school. But I was also auditioning like you do when you're a child actor for things on camera for TV and movies and stuff. And for that first, I guess, 11 years, I didn't get anything until Pitch Perfect was the first thing that I got on camera.
Yeah. Did your parents have advice for it's so much rejection at such a young age?
Yeah, I mean, I think what was nice is that I was doing all of these theater programs, and I was doing theater in school, and like I had an outlet. And to me, truly at that point, the stakes felt the same. It's honestly more when you're doing a high school musical and you're working on it for 4 months and you get like 3 nights and like everyone in your whole life is there. Like that just feels like so much more electric than like, oh, I didn't get the the mayonnaise commercial or whatever. So I think that was a good. They did like safety net.
Yeah, well, I booked that one.
And that's why I'm here tonight for a rematch.
Well, I know, we were talking about Into the Woods for a second. My girlfriend, I was, complaining about it earlier. My stand-up said she doesn't love musical theater. She's come around. But
and she's your girlfriend?
I know. And she's here. But I've warmed her up to a lot of musicals, and she has, connections to some. She loves Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Nice.
But the way she talks about Into the Woods, it's really tough for me, and I don't know, because it's like I tell her it's like if we had
negative.
Negative.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, honey, this is like if we had people over and you said, Hamlet is kind of predictable. And it's like, you can't say that.
Yeah, no, that's a really sacred one.
Yeah, and I'm trying, maybe it was a wrong production, maybe wrong mood. I wasn't there for it. So I wasn't there to monitor her enjoyment.
Well, there's kind of no excuse because there's a brilliant pro shot of the original. And it's like, if you can watch that and not feel anything like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Brother, you're singing to the choir here. I can't wait to show her. But I also thought maybe there'd be a chance because you did Into the Woods, and I just thought, I thought it'd be so cool to do. One of my favorite songs is Your Fault, but it's so many parts. But you're very versatile, and I thought could you maybe do all of Your Fault? We didn't plan this at all. I'm just throwing this on him. Could you give us a Your Fault and give Into the Woods a second chance for my girlfriend, please?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll try.
Okay.
Just it's like jump rope. We sort of have to just. Okay, here we go. But it isn't my fault I was given those beans. You persuaded me to trade away my cow for beans, and without those beans, there'd have been no stock to get up to the giant in the first place. Wait a minute, magic. Beans for a cow so old that you had to tell a lie to sell it, which you told. Were they worthless? Beans, were they oversold? Oh, and tell us who persuaded you to steal that gold. So it's your fault. See, it's her fault. Yes, it is. It's not. It's true. Wait a minute, though. I only sold the gold to get my cow back from you. So it's your fault. Yes, no, it isn't. I'd have kept those beans, but our house was cursed. She made us get a cow to get the curse reversed. It's his father's fault that the curse got placed and the place got cursed in the first place. place. Oh, then it's his fault. So it was his fault. No, yes it is. It's his, I guess. Wait a minute, though I chopped down the beanstalk, right? That's clear, but without any beanstalk, then what's queer is how did the second giant get down here in the first place? Second place. Yes, how? Well, who had the other bean? The other bean? The other bean? You pocketed the other bean? I didn't. Yes, I did. So it's your. No, it isn't, because I gave it to my wife. So it's her. No, it isn't. Then whose is it? Wait a minute. She exchanged that bean to obtain your shoe. So the one who knows what happened to the bean is you. You mean that old bean that your wife? Oh dear, what I never knew it. So I thought, well, don't look here. See, it's her fault. So it's her fault, and it isn't mine at all. But what? Well, if you hadn't gone back up again, we were needy. You were greedy. Did you need that hand? But I got it from my mother. So it's her fault then. Isn't what about the harp in the third place? The harp. Yes, she went and dared me to. I dared you to. You dared me to. She said that I was scared to. She dared. No, I didn't. So it's her fault. Wait a minute. You hadn't dared him to. If you had left the harp alone, we wouldn't be in trouble in the first place. Right, it's she who raised the beans in the first place. Right, it's you who raised the beans in the first place. It's your fault. You're responsible. You're the one to blame. It's your fault. And that's called mental illness.
Oh God. So I guess as we're getting closer to the end, I'm curious. You know, what do you, if you could go back to your theater kid days, what do you think you would have told yourself? What do you think that you would have been nice to have known earlier as you pursued this very exhausting, ambitious career in theater?
Oh, that's so hard. Everything's been so funny, and that's so serious. I honestly, I don't know that I would say anything. I mean, I think I wish that I could sort of summon that kid sometimes to come to me and sort of remind me that, like, to focus on that special, that like feeling that I'm sometimes chasing, because obviously as performers there's like all these things that we are supposed to be aspiring to and wanting, and we're, you know, trying to be validated by. And I think sometimes musical theater, and specifically, which is why I'm so happy you're doing this show and why it's wonderful that you do it, is that it's, you know, it's like such a special, hard thing that gets kind of a bad rep sometimes in culture. It kind of like has this wave where sometimes people are down with it if they find it to be palatable enough with like their sensibilities, and then sometimes it's like total cringe. And I think like it's, you know, it's sometimes I find myself kind of going with the tide of wanting to be broader and more palatable and more, you know, like received in other spaces in the way that I feel like you're supposed to want. And I think when I was a kid, I just was so in love with the art form in the way that I still am, but that's all I could really see and all I could really think about, and I never really thought to think of more or want for more. And so I just maybe would have that child sort of remind me of that when needed. Maybe I would tell the young version to like play Corny Collins or like Wilbur instead of Link, because I think you're sort of trained to want to play the leading man when you're in like coming up in musical theater. And not that I didn't enjoy that, but I think I could have like learned more things about what actually was going to make me a strong performer earlier if I had just indulged in the things that like made me more myself and less like straight ahead. But I still can play straight. So let's not forget.
Well, that's wonderful. I you know, it's your dream to have here. Thank you for making the time for us theater adults, former theater kids, for everybody. It's
Oh my God! Oh, the one thing I did mean to say, it's crazy. I just remembered it kind of as we were prepping for this. I had an audition many years ago for the Dear Evan Hansen movie. I went into Telsey for it, and it was to play, you know, one of Evan Hansen's classmates. And I remember when I got the audition, I was like, I am way too old for this role. And it turns out I was right.
You are some gumshoe, you just don't think well. Get this dumb gumshoe, you come from my inkwell. Is your mouth lonely with 1 foot in there? Stone, your brain only holds thoughts I put in there. Just what you are I'll spell out. You are a novel pain, 1 speck of lint that fell out the last time that I picked my brain.
You are so jealous of my track record. Tolstoy, do tell us your feeble hack record. Your weak knees brand you soft and unstable. One small threat and you fold like a card table. You drool at my adventures. Your broads in bed are bored. Go home and soak your dentures. Your pen is no match for my sword. You're nothing without me, but no one who'd go undefined. You wouldn't exist, you'd never be missed. I tell you, you're out of my mind. A show off, a blowhard. You're equal parts hot air and gall. And no one would doubt me. Without me, you're nothing at all.
You're in my plot, I'm still your creator. I call each shot, I'm your private dictator.
You are so thick, you eat, breathe, sleep fiction. I'm your meal ticket, knee deep in cheap fiction.
You gloating ignoramus. You haven't any shame.
Hey, I'm a famous Seamus, and most people don't know your name. You're nothing without me. Without me, you just disappear right into thin air, and no one would care or notice you ever were here. A puppet, an upstart, a loser who's destined to fall. I'm everything you'd always wanted to be. Let's deal with the issue, you wish you were me. You're nothing without me. Without me, you're nothing at all. Ben Platt, everyone, make some fucking noise. And Adam Cole Klepper on the piano. Douglas Goodhart. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gianmarco Soresi. Thank you very much for being a theater adult. Good night.